Have you ever wondered why some people spend years stuck in the same destructive patterns, struggling with addiction, depression, or bad habits, only to suddenly, inexplicably transform overnight? This isn't gradual progress through therapy. It is what psychologists call quantum change. These sudden shifts are vivid, permanent, and often arrive without warning, almost like an earthquake. The tectonic plates of your life have been shifting invisibly for years, and then, in a single moment, everything moves at once. But how can you trigger this for yourself? To understand how this happens, we must first look at the psychological cage we all live in, our identity. When you were a child, your primary goal was survival, which meant staying connected to your caregivers. You learned quickly what behaviors earned love and what brought punishment. You absorbed your family's beliefs about the world, success, and self-worth, and you internalized them as your absolute reality. This is your operating system. It runs in the background of every thought you have. The problem is that your identity doesn't just define who you are, it defends itself. When you encounter information that contradicts your self-perception, your brain reacts as if you are under physical threat. Your heart rate increases, stress hormones flood your system, and you feel the urge to fight back. This is why people cling to beliefs that are clearly harming them. It is why you can intellectually know you need to change, yet find yourself repeating the same self-destructive cycles at 4 in the morning. You aren't just trying to change a habit, you are trying to act in ways that contradict your fundamental sense of self. Every dysfunctional behavior you possess makes perfect sense once you understand the identity generating it. You are trying to act against your own internal programming. So, how do you escape a cage you can't even see? Traditional advice tells you to visualize your ideal self, set positive goals, and create a vision board. But research shows that human beings are not primarily motivated by pursuing the good. We are driven by loss aversion. The fear of pain is a much stronger motivator than the promise of gain. Instead of a positive vision, you need an anti-vision. An anti-vision forces you to stare directly at the future you are currently building with your daily choices. It is a way of psychologically hitting bottom on purpose, by forcing yourself to see the destruction already in progress. It doesn't inspire you with abstract dreams. It turns your vague dissatisfaction into a visceral, ugly emotional certainty that you cannot continue the status quo. You have to make the trait you want to change feel intolerable. Blame it for everything. Make yourself so disgusted with that version of yourself that change becomes the only logical path forward. Most people stay in the fog because it feels safer than the clarity of their own failures. But the fog is where your potential goes to die. If you want to engineer this transformation deliberately, you can use a 5-step framework to surface your identity and break the cage. First, list the behaviors you want to stop, the ones that keep you stuck. Be honest, even if it's uncomfortable. Second, look for the underlying identity that unites these behaviors. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself that makes these actions feel natural? You are looking for the operating system that justifies your dysfunction. Third, build your anti-vision. Be as exhaustive as possible in documenting how this identity is ruining your life. Connect every failure, every lost opportunity, and every moment of unhappiness back to that core belief. Fuck that version of yourself. Fourth, define the contrary identity, the person you need to become to escape the cage. Finally, find the crack. This is a small specific action that enforces this new identity while feeling deeply uncomfortable. It should be something you know is objectively good for you, but that makes you incredibly nervous. This discomfort is the proof that you are prying open the door of your cage. The goal isn't just to stop a behavior, it is to shift your hierarchy of values. When you try to force change through willpower alone, you are swimming upstream against your own identity. But when you reorganize your underlying values, the behaviors will flow naturally. Suddenly, status and money drop away, and connection and integrity move to the center of your life. Remember, this is not a mechanical process. There is no button to press for guaranteed transformation. But by surfacing the identity you've been protecting, building an anti-vision that makes that identity intolerable, and finding the specific cracks to break it, you dramatically increase the odds of a breakthrough. You have been running someone else's code your entire life, mistaking it for your own. Now is the time to see the walls clearly, find the weak points, and finally step out of the cage. You have the power to change your life, but only if you are willing to face the person you have become and choose to build someone new. Have a nice day.